Hello, welcome back. We're back to the third hour here of Torchbearer, the Oathkeeper's Domain, episode 4. So, if you're just joining us, you're in for a treat. We just fought some wolves, made camp, and I made a bunch of mistakes as GM, but we're going to ignore that. And we're going to just go forward. So, hey, welcome. What do you guys want to do? We just cooked some food. You got to watch some super sweet Gordon Ramsay cook some venison with some garlic.
Yeah.
In a
If Ermintrude would put Gordon Ramsay to shame in terms of like angry outbursts.
Yeah. I piss better than this it's broth. Yeah, so alright. What do you want to do?
I kind of just like sit quietly staring into the fire, thinking dark thoughts to myself. And like occasionally just humming like a sea shanty.
Like my eyebrow is twitching, and you can tell that this humming is not helping.
Yeah.
Stephen, yeah.
He's the captain. Your being angry isn't helping his humming. It's not the other way around.
Damn right. And yeah, I mean, I guess at this point, the moon rises and the sun sets and the stars wheel overhead. We watch these meteors and that's it.
Are we just going to try to climb this mountain tomorrow? Is that the plan?
I think so. I think that is the plan.
So.
Our objective is the summit. We must achieve our goal, aka my goal. My goal is the important one to achieve.
We'll see. We'll see how good that goes.
Perhaps there are some doors upon the way, I sensei. I feel we must rely on your magical abilities.
Yeah, no, I got my Wisdom of the Sages memorized, so that's all I can do.
Yeah, everybody.
Oh, right.
Ermintrude and Eisenseed. We'll link the recipes they use for the venison in the show notes at the end of the episode. Don't worry. Okay. So we're gonna try to ascertain the summit. All right, let's do it. So you guys are gonna be climbing. Yeah, in order. Okay. The first obstacle we're gonna cut to then you guys get to a part where the path up is no longer walkable. You're gonna have to scale some stuff. Essentially, imagine you guys kind of get to a sheer like cliff face, kind of shifting and sequestering the two levels here, and there's about a 20-foot difference between getting up. Snow will lay around it. There's a couple of trees nearby that you might be able to use for your assistance here, but it just seems to be that it's either too steep in points, or it's literally like a sheer cliff face, or even negative to get up.
Like, what's the climbing skill in this game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dungeoneering.
Oh. Well, in that case, I puff myself up and I say, "This is no problem. I can scale this easily. I'm a dwarf. We climb cliff faces all the time."
Yeah.
And I am going to dungeoneer.
Do we have rope? I have rope. You're like, I'm gonna go up this cliff, and I hold up a hand. I say, Ermintrude, it'd be of great use to those of us who do not spend our lives underground scaling similar cliffs if you brought this with you. And I take the rope off of my torso and I hold it out to you. Secure, we may follow you.
Can I fit that in
Leave your backpack.
Okay. So I drop the backpack and
Okay.
I wrap rope around my torso.
I'll pick up the backpack and sling it over my back.
Okay.
Well, what are
So
you
you
doing
have
with you don't have a backpack. You just have a sack, right?
No, Ermintrude grabbed the backpack from the hunters,
Yes.
and then she is trading me her backpack, and I'm giving her the rope. So I don't have a backpack, so now I'm putting the backpack on.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Ahab was wearing the rope.
That's right. You're wearing the rope
Yeah.
like a yeah.
Bandolier.
Yeah.
So I
okay.
wrap the rope around myself. I drop the sack that I was carrying in one hand. Do I need to drop my warhammer to climb?
I would think that's a factor. I think climbing
Yeah.
one-handed would be pretty difficult. Can you put your warhammer away somewhere?
It's two-handed, right?
It
Yeah,
is
it's two-handed.
two-handed.
Yeah.
Can I tie it to my back with the rope that I've just wrapped around myself?
Boy, that's like. See, I'm not sure how that works as a factor for her test, because normally that would be like a linked laborer test to carry extra, right? To carry more than one thing like that would be a laborer test.
So maybe what we're actually doing here is we make a little like bundle of the stuff that we're not going to be able to carry that we'll just haul up when we're done.
Yeah.
So one
And
person's
that's like a
yeah.
laborer test, and that can include the packs too. Like we just have this bundle of stuff and we climb our way up.
So it
and
looks
then
like
that-
two of you are gonna go up, make the laborer test to bring the other goods, and the last person goes up. Is that the idea?
Like I'll stay down here and like I'll tie together all the packs and stuff like that, and then we'll send it up. I've got, I'm a sailor. I've got ropemanship.
Yeah, certainly we know how to tie knots.
Knots.
I know my way around a rope. Yeah, exactly.
So, making a dungeoneering test with 3 skill in that.
Yeah. You're going to be 2 people, and some factors here. You're going to be ascending a vertical pitch. You're not carrying a backpack on you, so that's not a problem. I think those are the 2 things right there. So I think that's. Chat was not joking. Yeah, this is going to be an OB4 test just to do this. But I mean, keep in mind, if you guys just want to do a whole like group test with this together,
We could just increase
it's
the
it's
ob a
hard.
bit.
Yeah, it's more difficult when you do it all at once. But because if you're breaking up tests, that eats grind, right?
Yeah. So if I go up by myself, does it lower the ob?
Yes, it does.
So just me, which makes it what, op 3 then?
Mhm.
So I have 3 skill. Do I have anything that would help? Any way that anything can help?
I think you've already used your trait for you to resist the cold for this session. Born of Earth and Stone could have helped
Yeah, I
you,
already used
but you've
that.
already used it. You can't use any traits because you are the person doing it, or excuse me, wises because you're the person doing it.
I can't use wises because I'm pissed.
Oh, that's
Also
true too.
Here's a thought. Do the big roll for everyone. Get a check by spending one of your traits against yourself, and we'll just eat the failure that we know is going to happen, and we'll either take the twist or more conditions, and we'll just like keep.
And we'll clear them.
So I'm gonna look at this sheer cliff face, look back at my like incompetent companions, and I will invoke my foolhardy trait against myself.
Nice.
And I'll say, easy. I've been
Yeah,
carrying
we got
these
this.
humans this entire journey. I can carry them up the side of a mountain. It's fine.
Exactly.
So you want to do everybody and everything and all?
Yep.
At one time?
Yep.
Okay.
Hermitry's just like,
Party of Adventurers.
"No, it's fine. We're just gonna do it."
Party of Adventurers, ascending a vertical pitch, backpacks a factor. So that's an OB 7.
All right.
The dwarf seems to know what she's doing.
So my modifiers are -1 for using a trait against myself.
Yep.
So I'm rolling 2 die. You guys, 2 dice. 7.
You got this, Trist. You got this.
You got it.
we're
You
gonna
rolled a
explode
6.
them and it'll be fine.
Hey, you rolled a 6. You could
do it.
spend a fate and then roll that 6 again. And remember,
Yep.
you have to spend fates to level up the next time you go to town.
Keep going.
So do it.
So I spend a fate point with 3
okay.
successes.
3 successes. Not quite. But yeah. So you guys all, I think the obvious thing would be that you guys all make it up there, but you're exhausted by the ordeal, bringing
And it's-
everything up.
Ermintrude is exhausted because she was the only one making the roll.
No, but this was for the group.
It was for the group, but none of us were helping.
We weren't helping.
Oh, that's true. So she's just exhausted.
It was just like Ermintrude literally did all the work just
Yeah.
now.
Did you just put them on your back, or how did that?
Or it was like a guided climb or whatever, right? They were like
Yeah.
you went
Yeah,
up
yeah,
and
yeah.
like got the rope all set up and just like
Yeah, that's right. You guys didn't
pulled
help.
stuff.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they'd have
So
been
I'm
exhausted, and you
angry
guys
and
would have been hungry and
exhausted.
thirsty for being associated with it. But nope. Okay. Cool.
It's okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to twist them.
Your sacrifice is appreciated.
carry this whole party through this session.
Yeah, so now you're exhausted.
I
and
thought you wanted
angry.
to be the life of the party, Trist.
Look, I accomplished my goal already, okay?
I'm done.
God. Yeah. You're like,
done.
well, we're good.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so I'm angry and exhausted. And like now I just have like this deep sullen rage.
Yeah. Cool. So now up ahead, up on this, you guys are getting near the top of the mountain now. The air is getting a little bit thinner. You guys are you're past the tree line.
I
Up
feel
here.
like Barbosa is probably breathing quite heavily. Like, he doesn't spend this much time above sea level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's definitely some kind of entrance into some sort of cave up here. There's no
Are we at
markings.
Sleepy cave.
Have we made the summit?
No, like it keeps going up, but up
Yeah.
here there's definitely some kind of entrance.
Yeah.
Perhaps this is what we've been looking for.
It's an air hole, like air's coming out of it. Like you can feel the air kind of coming out of it, and it's the closer you get to it, the more it smells kind of bad,
Eric,
a little fetid.
my question for you is, does this count as achieving the goal, reach Spider Peak?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then we can go in.
Yeah.
We don't have to. Barbosa's not going to be like, nay, we must mount the summit to call ourselves the masters of this
And
mountain.
like plants
yeah.
his flag
Yeah,
and
exactly.
No, this is perfect.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like this fetid smell coming out of this place.
Mhm.
Wow, like God, I wish I had some skill that was useful to me instead of all of these skills that are totally butt. I've got religion and theologian and sailor and criminal. I'm just
so
like, well,
does anyone have something like hunter or dungeoneering to maybe try to like recognize the smell or the possible sources?
I have dungeoneering.
Eric, does that sound legit for someone to like be trying to like discern what's going on with this cave?
To use to use survival.
Yeah, what do you think would be the
You want to recognize what's your intention? Maybe I'm not. Maybe it's not.
so there's this like cave with air coming out of it, which seems
Yeah.
a little unusual, and then also that the air smells real bad. Is this like, a toxic coal mine kind of scenario where we walk into the cave and suffocate, or like like I'm worried about this kind of underground badness. And so I think Isensi is like pushes Ermitrude forward a little bit and just says, "What can you tell me about this cave? Is it safe?" Or at least like I put myself behind you, like not so much pushing you forward as just like hiding behind you.
And I like shrug your hand off of me. I snarl, I have to do everything. This fucking group. So I will take a cautious sniff and consult my experience as a dungeoneer to identify what this smell could mean. Alright, so testing. Dungeoneering.
And would it be appropriate for me to help with like something like Lore Master or whatever, where I'm just like smelling the air and like trying to recognize, or maybe alchemy, and I'm trying to recognize like if there's like a chemical smell, like
Oh yeah, like if
sulfur
it's like
or-
acrid or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that
okay.
seem fair?
Yeah.
Because
So
I'm like I sense he's really interested in what's wrong with it, but they're also just like deferring to Ermintrude's like deeper knowledge, if you'll pardon the pun, of who's on the underground.
So I've got one die of help
I think so.
Yes, indeed.
in the ob.
Mm-hmm.
Is a number.
And this is
provided.
sorry. Yeah, this is a number. All right.
Like, yes,
Here's the
odds-
hard part. So you're not using Hunter, right?
No, I'm using dungeoneering.
Dungeoneering. Okay. Dungeoneering would give you. Yeah, this is just an ob. This would be an ob 1 for good or bad air.
Okay. Think.
Yeah, easy.
Is this air good or is it bad?
Okay.
Don't breathe the bad air, kids.
No. The air is so the air is definitely breathable. but it's definitely pungent. It smells a little bit like rotting garbage. Like it smells very, very like old banana.
So it's like organic rot.
Yes, it smells like organic rot, which is kind of weird coming from underneath the dungeon.
Yeah, like in this cave that's at like high up in the mountains, that there would be all of this like stuff rotting there.
Yes.
It's weird. Totally.
You
And
you almost hear the sounds of like splashing coming from near that part, from like somewhere deep below, like the sounds of like water dripping and like something like pushing up water. Like something like a toddler running through a pool, like splash, 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 splash.
Fast splashes.
Yes.
Fast repeated splashes.
Yes. Yeah.
Something's
A lot of more
living.
like almost like slapping of water, right?
It sounds
Yeah,
like the
so-
lair of something. We should kill it.
Yeah, I sense he is convinced that something deadly is living in this cave, and so I like pull my lantern, or I have my lantern, and so I'm gonna light my lantern, put my map in my pouch here, and pull my knife out.
Okay. So you guys go in?
Yep, I got my warhammer ready, and I will lead the way.
And I'm lighting your way with the lantern, so I'm like just behind you with the lantern.
So I'm looking to smash something.
Yeah. No, definitely. Okay, so the closer you get to this cave. Okay, first off, the mouth of this cave is about 3 or 4. It's more like one of those like lightning bolt cracks, right? That's letting this air out. So you have to like squeeze in like laterally, like to squeeze through this thing to get anywhere. Anyone have any light?
I have the lantern,
I sense he has a lantern.
Okay. All right. So you have
and
your
I'm
lantern.
like holding it over Ermintrude's head because she's a dwarf.
What? She's what?
A
I'll
dwarf.
fight you.
Yeah. You you squeeze through these rocks and you get into what appears to be almost like a man-made rotunda. Almost like a gazebo. That obviously doesn't look into anything. Only it's almost like I guess the best way to describe the art and everything too. It's almost like a mosque, like in terms of that very nice mosaic old tile patterns. At one point, it looks extremely old, buried inside this mountain. From here, you can see that there's like a set of like spiraling stairs that kind of like go down. From below, you definitely, once you get inside this room, you definitely hear the sounds of the splashing and stuff going on below.
So it's down below. Is the splashing?
Yeah, but you found this sort of like empty mosaic tiled like observation post that's like inside this mountain.
Is there any writing or anything?
No, there's no writing around. You find a couple like bones of something. It looks to be like maybe like I was gonna say like what like a rabbit or like small little like creatures scattered about, like some kind of something ate it, and this called this place a den for a while, but it seems empty.
You know, you said this looked kind of like a mosque.
Yes.
With my knowledge of theology, do I recognize anything about these mosaics? Is it just like a pattern, or does it look like there might be meaning behind it, or is it?
No,
like
there could be meaning behind these patterns.
Yeah. No, I want to try to like divine the meaning behind these patterns in here.
Awesome. Okay. So that sounds like a theologian test.
Yep, that's what I was hoping.
And I would love to help with either lore master or scholar.
Yeah.
I will.
Scholar
be
would make
stomping-
sense.
I'm stomping on those tiny bones and snarling about rats under my breath.
Okay.
The rat grudge.
Yeah, to determine the background of this place, it would be I think an ob 2 for some an obscure doctrine.
So I've got 3 theologian plus 1 for I sense his help. I can only use one trait in a roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't use 1 for and 1 against, right?
You are correct.
Yeah.
Cool. And then boasting, demanding, and running are nature. So I could, like, if I boasted to my companions that I couldn't understand the information given here, would that give me the dice, or is that not important enough to the challenge?
Yeah, I'm not gonna give that. I'm not giving that to you.
Yeah, I'm just curious how close it needs to work.
Yes.
And I'm exhausted, which is a factor in all tests, which means it's what, just -1 dice?
Yes. I think exhausted is -1 die, or it's either -1 die or +1 obstacle.
Right.
Let me look at the grind and
When
recovery.
did you get exhausted?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be exhausted. It's just
Just me.
Intrude.
Yeah. Okay.
Poor Ermintrude.
Right. Good deal. GG. So I've got 4, and I could bump it to 5.
Yeah,
Or I
exhausted
could
is a
take
factor.
check and go down to 3.
And it's ob 2?
Yeah, it's ob 2.
Can I help with my Delver nature descriptor?
Yeah, you want to help with nature? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, no, for theology? I don't know if I could let you help with theology.
Or she's like clearing out space and helping like light the inscriptions and
Yeah, that's
you know, like providing some logistical support to our efforts of deciphering.
Either delving or labor. If
That
I'm
wouldn't.
doing...
I don't think that would help you get to the core. What that wouldn't give you any insight to the pattern here. This is very man-made.
And I continue stomping the bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
And like, I don't know. I want to get a check because I feel like we're low on the check economy. So I'm going to use my thoughtful against me. So I'm just gonna like sit there like deep in thought and like I'm looking at this, and then like my mind starts going back through like all of the different symbology and religious iconography that I've seen in my life, and I sort of like remember my first encounter with, you know, the gods of the deeps, and I just get lost in thought for a while, and then maybe I sense he is kind of like, you know, hey, Captain, or whatever. And that breaks me out of it, and then I say, yes, no, I recognize these symbols there, blah, blah, blah. So that's what's going on. So I got a total of 3. So I've got basically 3 + 1 - 1. Because +1 for the help, -1 for, yeah, okay, cool. So I'm testing Theologian.
Yep. Ob 2.
Skill rating of 3 with a 0 health and an ob 2. Drum roll. Oh, damn.
Nice.
Oh,
You
she's
got
so good
see?
at this. No wonder he's the captain.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what you would pick up. So these are symbols, and you can tell by sort of the patterns laid out that this was a shrine at some point. Particularly, this was a shrine to an old god, a god a god not commonly worshipped or referred to people. This is a god of basically a god of ledgers, a god but more in terms of like karma, like a god of heart and whether or not and like fate, right? It's a god of yeah, like I think of like of not necessarily like luck and fortune, but more of fate and predeterminism, and sort of whether or not and judges, I think would be the best way of thinking of it. A god that renders judgment. It's an obscure god named Media.
Sorry, what's the name?
Media, or like Media. like Medea.
Medea?
No.
Yeah, Tyler Perry's.
Yeah. God.
I was thinking about the Greek play. Oh my god.
Oh.
That's,
God damn it, Steven.
You uneducated louts and savages.
Okay, yeah. And like, do these markings tell me anything about this god? Like, are there multiple exits out of here? Does one of them seem favored, or like this is
No.
the
Oh, this was
judgment?
no. This seemed to be like so the only exit besides the way you came in through that little crawl space, like this, like something like fractured that would let you guys like crawl in here. The only other way down here is a set of spiraling stairs going down. There seems to be like a reclusive little shrine up above in some kind of structure. You must be inside some kind of structure inside this mountain right now.
Okay. And like, all I get from this is like this was a shrine to a god of fate and judgment.
Yeah.
Well, I have divined a curious piece of trivia, but I see not at the moment how it actually helps us in attaining our goals. Perhaps we will meet a door below, or a language.
Yeah.
Let us descend.
I like kick a little rodent ribcage into the wall, and I say, "You done looking at the whatever this crap is? Let's go."
Yeah.
It was indeed crap. Yeah.
And so I like hold up the lantern at the top of the stairs and let them
Yeah.
work their way in.
You guys spiraled down this tiny narrow staircase that seems to be carved out of the stone here, and it sends you out into the only like other way. It sends you out into a small little cliff face. Below, I mean, if you kind of shine the light down, you can kind of see this pool and it seems to be full of like refuse and trash, like old, discarded. Looks like there was like a boat in here that's like was broken, like in this like long pool of like, you know, with like stalactites and stalagmites below. There seems to be like cracked open barrels and like fungus is growing all over it, and you see that there's some kind of like creature, some kind of like hideous looking creature, approximately like the size of a like a hippopotamus, I think would be the best way of describing it. Kind of like splashing around, and it's got some kind of like tentacle or some kind of like pseudopods kind of things off its back, like splashing around in like eating this garbage that just seems to be like growing and just festering around this place. It seems very happy, and you kind of like keeping yourself around this sort of like cliff face. There's this pool in front of you, like it's about maybe like 60 feet or so deep, and then there's this sort of like rope bridge going across to the other side, across this place to another cliff, and then on the other side of that seems to have like an actual like masonry, like entrance, sort of like archway into the other side of this mountain.
And so like it's like 60 feet down to the pool, where all the water is and everything, below this rope bridge.
Exactly. So
And,
this would be the easiest way of describing
these creatures, pseudopods, they don't look 60 feet long.
it. No.
Just
A
checking.
fair question.
That's a very fair question.
So I see this like tentacle thing in the water splashing around, and immediately look at Ahab like, "Please explain."
Do I know anything about this creature? Just like for knowing?
Not offhand, no.
I like
It had
he's got, like,
spouts some
tentacle-
pseudo-religious nonsense about how not all mysteries are meant for mortal minds.
Yeah, and then I want to try to recognize what the hell this thing is.
Of course.
It would.
How are we on the grind?
We're at 2.
Okay.
And we're also burning light, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
Because if we could get past it, you know.
that would be ideal. Yeah, I'm not like trying to figure out what this thing is so we can fight it. I'm just like, what do I need to be worried about with this thing? Is this what kind of skill would this be? Is this under like lore master or?
Hunter? Or I think no, this is probably Loremaster. It's one of those creatures that kind of like blurs the line between both of them, right?
Yeah, like it's not a wolf or a elk.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think Loremaster.
And what's the ob?
I think because it's like blurs the line, it shouldn't be that difficult of lore. My guess is my gut right now, but let me find it. This would be fairy and folktales or curses and half-breeds. I think this is a 2, because I would consider this a half-breed between things.
Okay, cool. So, I will roll my Lore Master of 2. Well, I will knock this fork over first. And is anyone able to help me in any particular way?
Probably not.
Or is anyone interested in helping me?
I'll toss in my theological knowledge of all gods of the depths.
Delving?
I'm allowing it.
What do you think, Eric?
This isn't religious. I don't know. This thing doesn't live in. Okay, so this is weird to say. It lives in a mountain, deep in a pool, but it's not something related to the depths. Like it's not abyssal, right? It's not like as in like the oceanic abyssal. It's All
right, whatever you say, Eric. Whatever. All right,
I live to just crush your dreams, Steven.
You do.
So
does delving tell me anything about weird splashy things in mountains?
Yeah. You would know this for sure.
And does it
dwarves have stories of these creatures?
Use my instinct to display dwarven superiority underground.
Oh yeah, so maybe Triss does it first because she's like, I know what that is.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So outside of the grind, we just get an instinct-based check on this, and I can't help you.
Ah. Okay.
But it does mean that Andrew can't help you.
Yeah. You're on your own because you're trying to prove your superiority.
So do I test my max nature? No, I test my current nature.
Yes.
Which is 2. So I might have just shot us in the foot. But I'm not spending a grind check to do so.
Yep.
And I can't help myself with anything, correct?
Negative.
Alright, I'm testing my nature. My current nature is 2. No modifiers. The ob is 2. I will spend fate point, which brings me down to 0 fate points. To spent, roll a d6. Damn.
So close.
Oh, you were literally 1 off.
Alas.
Okay.
So having failed.
Don't mind me. I'm just drawing what it looks like here.
Having failed, but using my instinct to trigger that nature check, do I lose more nature?
Yeah, I think you end up taxing it by 1, right? You lose it by the difference. No, wait, not if you. See, that's the difference between helping your nature and just using your nature. Because this would be relevant to your no. Oh wait, no. It wouldn't do that anyways because this is within the domain of your nature.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a normal roll.
No.
I want to make sure.
No, I guess you're just having trouble remembering what this thing is.
And I do that thing where I'm like, I know exactly what this is. This is
that thing with the.
It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
I know it. I promise. It's been a while.
So you're like talking this bullshit at me.
Been on the ocean so long, you see. It's been a while since I've been under a mountain, proper like.
Well,
It's like trail off awkwardly.
do you think it's dangerous, Ermintrude?
No, of course not. Of course not. It's down there. We're up here. As long as you don't go down there, we won't have a problem. Easy.
Its pseudopods are not 60 feet long. That's the only contribution I have to this.
Its arms can't
No,
reach
all right, that's cool. I have because you failed this test. I have a thing in mind that will trigger in a little bit. So
Yay,
you don't
little
gain a
bit
condition.
things.
You don't gain a condition. This will be a twist. But I will pocket that just for a couple moments.
So I sense he then moves on to the business of this rope bridge, and I like.
You
touch
didn't
one of the
use
planks
grind.
with my foot.
I saw grind
That
take
was
go
an
down.
instinct.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You did not use grind. I'm dumb. I was so focused on drawing this thing. Okay. All right. So you want to check out this rope bridge?
Yeah, I'm like probing it with my foot and like looking at the state of the anchoring of it, like how well it's tied to whatever it's tied to on this end, and like the state of those. Trying to assess its
Structural integrity.
Yeah. No, it seems pretty firm. You guys might want to take some time going across it, like not everybody going at once, but it seems in very well kept condition for a rope bridge made of wood.
Yeah, and there's like all this rotting stuff down below, but this is still intact.
Exactly.
I'm incredibly suspicious of it. My experience with bridges that are inexplicably not made of stone has not been good.
Why would they make this not out of stone?
Like, we're literally surrounded by rocks, and you like imported wood and rope to make this bridge. WTF. Ermintrude is perplexed.
This doesn't seem like it was originally intended there. Maybe something broke and this was something else.
But I'm not scared, so I'm gonna walk across it, because whatever, it's just a bridge. A bridge isn't an interstellar like space demon from beyond the void. Ain't no thing. I'm just gonna walk across.
Sure. And one of those is from down below.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. You're able to walk across, no problem. It kind of creaks and stuff on your feet, but it's let me roll a die of fate. Let's hope I don't get a 1.
God damn it, Eric.
Literally, okay.
God damn it. Stop jinxing us. Oh my god.
It was fine. It was fine, and you yell over that it's fine, and as soon as you do, you rolled 1. Oh.
He's making
Trolling you.
Got it.
Please continue.
Yeah. As soon as you say that, there's like a violent shaking of the earth, and the bridge snaps and gives way.
like one end of it falls and the whole thing just
yeah.
So it's like
some other some rocks fall.
Everyone dies.
Yeah, no one dies. No one dies though. It does,
Oh,
they
so
don't
a
hit the
rock,
rope,
like, hits the middle of
but
the
yeah,
bridge and snaps it in half.
you know what? That sounds even cooler. Yeah.
That's what I was envisioning.
Yeah. So like this large like boulder just collapses right through the bridge and destroys it. You holding the light on the other side.
Okay.
So I sense it wasn't on the bridge.
No, I had made it to the other side, and then this happened.
Oh, I thought you were dead. Okay, all right, this isn't bad at all.
So it's fine.
And then yeah, all I sense you can come up with to say is just, "I told you we were cursed." And I like sit down. So I'm so irritated that this is happening.
How wide is the chasm?
It's about 30 feet at its
That's
closest.
fine. That's fine. So there's posts on each side, right?
Yeah, there's stakes that you could fashion into
Because the previous rope snapped, but it didn't tear down the anchor.
Exactly.
Bridge.
Yeah. Okay. So like, I'm just gonna grab the rope that we recovered from our climb, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tie an end of it around a rock. I'm gonna hurl it across. And then Isensi is going to tie it around one of the stakes. I'm going to tie it around the other stake over here, and we'll just shimmy across.
Yeah, they are sailors after all. Just another day in the life of a sailor.
What?
All right, so you're going to create a bridge to the other side.
Yep. I'm going to create a rigging to the other side.
All right. You want to use sailor for it?
Exactly. I mean, like, what would I normally use?
I mean,
this is honestly, I think there's a strong argument for this being a sailor test because it's all like rigging and
ropes. Yeah, it's rope tying. Yeah.
Okay, I mean sailing is usually canoes, but that's fine.
And there's no bondage skill, so this is the closest relevant skill.
Yep, exactly.
True.
I could probably start training a bondage skill, actually.
Good.
Okay.
We need to find some enemies here.
That's okay. That's fine. We'll do that, but we use the factoring of a. This probably be what survivalist actually. Well, I mean, no. You're right. It's. I'm going to use the factors from survivalist to improve
To set
the
off
sailing.
that he's using his sailing skills.
Yeah, that
Right.
makes sense.
This would be.
Someone in chat is recommending the idea of setting up the rope as being a good idea, and that the test is to actually make it across without
Yeah.
dropping it on your pack.
That sounds. No, thank you. That's actually a much better way of doing it.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
a smart way to run it.
Okay. So you fashion this rope bridge. Let's see how good it is. Yeah.
Very
All right.
well.
Good job, sailor.
Yeah, so you like hurl it, and I kind of like clumsily catch it and do some basic like knots around this.
Yeah.
Like I assume like a stone pillar, like one of the stalactites or something. Like
Yeah.
tie it to it.
I feel like probably we're not going to be able to recover this rope after I tie it here. So this is the end of the rope for us.
We're at the end of our rope.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Keeping.
One of us is.
I'm at the end of your rope.
The monster below has seemed to just be delightfully ignorant of you guys, as it just continues to wolf down garbage and everything inside. It's just like, and it's just like it's just so
and-
happy, just eats everything.
Eric, while
Babbling
they're making their way
incoherently.
across,
Yeah.
is now a reasonable time for me to trigger my instinct about always mapping our course through danger? Like, can I just make my little cartographer chest because I'm like making notes
Yeah,
while they're crossing or whatever? Because this has been an ongoing thing, but I just want to roll at some point.
sure.
Um,
Players are responsible for triggering the instincts. I'm
Great.
managing enough gajillion things.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, while you guys are crossing, like I've tied the thing off, and then I'm just like I've got my lantern set up so y'all can see and I can see, and I'm updating my map to include the mountain and how we
Yeah,
got here.
and I think that's a standard. Mapping things is standard, like 1 or 2, right?
I believe so.
Yep, just mapping this area.
Yeah.
Yep, 1.
Great, I do
Easy.
it just barely.
Easy. 116. Nice.
Okay, and then they're making a roll to cross the bridge.
Yes.
Okay.
So, which one of us should go first?
Are we-
I'm likely to fail.
Or are we like making one roll for the both of us?
It will probably it depends. Do you both want to do this test, or do you want to go one at a time?
So if we both do it, we hit the grind, and I feel like that's starting to get dangerous. What would it be? A Dungeoneer check?
I think so.
Engineering would be an appropriate skill for this for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Or
don't
your idea to use Sailor, I think, is legitimate because it's like you're essentially
Right. Yeah. So I feel like maybe Ermintrude leads with Dungeoneering and I assist with sailing, and then that gives us 4 dice, and then maybe we can get some other stuff going on.
I do have penalties, though.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Elementary reading is
exhausted.
dangerous.
Is it better for me to lead and you to assist? Because then I'm sailing at 2, Sailor 2.
Yeah, if I lead, I increase the odd by 1 because I'm exhausted.
Okay, yeah, it is better for me to lead and you to assist. Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're totally right. Hey, for the record, Andrew, next time, cartography test is actually an ob 2. I forgot the factor of area personally surveyed. But I mean, if you want, you can retroactively want to spend a fate to see it, or you just want to I'll give it to you now as my mistake, and you got off easy on me.
I'm down to get off easy.
Yeah, that's okay.
E.
Very few opportunities for that to happen in this game.
Yeet.
Eat.
Okay. Yeah. The sounds of dripping keeps rippling off the pools, but more noticeably is this pungent smell coming from this garbage full pool below, and this gibbering,
You can hear it like
incoherent monster.
schlepping
Literally,
garbage.
it's just it sounds like something is like a vacuum cleaner, just like inhaling, like it's just going through just this almost unlimited amount of garbage and stuff in here, and it's so happy in its weird alien way. It is it is a kid in a candy store right now.
We're all happy for it as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great.
You do you, boo boo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just stay down there with your garbage and
Yeah.
never come up here.
So, like, I think, can I work in my touched by the gods here and just be like, I've seen into the futures, and I know that the deep ones don't have in store for me, a death at the hands of this monster below. We will be fine crossing this road bridge. The strength of our faith will keep us strong. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
So what's the odds?
Okay, so this would be, you guys are doing this together, right? Because
Yes.
that changes the factor. Okay, so this would be the best thing I can think of is negotiating a narrow squeeze is the closest thing I can think of in terms of a relative difficulty. And this is 2 people, so this would be, and you're carrying your backpacks and everything too, right?
Yeah.
This is a 6.
Goodness. Okay.
Fail.
There's no way we are going to succeed. So,
Can we get a check?
yeah, like, do we just take the check or what?
If you know you're gonna fail, you definitely want to take the check.
Do I just like check sailor as a fail? Am I supposed to be checking my successes?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh God, I've never done that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why there's a history of tests here. But what happens is that's how your skills level up. Once you success or fail, you learning a skill, you count it. But developing a skill, you need a number of successes and failures.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna just take the fail on sailor.
You have to use one of your traits against yourself
Oh, I have to.
if we want to earn a check.
Cool.
Maybe that whole thing you described with touched by the gods is actually like totally bad.
Right. Like, false.
You're like, but what if I am actually supposed to go down to the depths right this moment?
I think that's kind of the turn that my thought has is like I'm like I have seen into the future and the gods do not have. Wait, that creature, could it be? No. Ermentrude, you go first. Everything will be fine. They're not coming for you. They're coming for me.
Oh,
I roll
God.
my eyes at this nonsense and start trying to shimmy down this rope.
Yeah.
My tiny dwarf hands and very dense body.
Cool. Yeah, that's what happens.
You
So-
still have to make the roll.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought it was just like a straight up failure. All right.
Oh no,
Ten.
You're-
there's a
Yes,
chance
but-
for success, my friend.
There's a very small chance for success, maybe. If you
Sailor,
say.
what's the skills or abilities rating? 2. I'm getting a +1. No, I'm getting a 0 because I'm using my trait against me, so I have nothing. Okay. So 0 there, and the ob is 6. Boom. Negative.
But we got a check that we're gonna need.
Yeah. No, well, obviously, you guys navigate across it okay, but you will just incur a condition.
Okay.
I think the best one for this would definitely be afraid for Ahab,
Cool.
right? And then residually, I think we're going to see Ermentrude get hungry and thirsty as a lesser condition.
Okay.
Ermentrude's just exerting herself, and I'm like, the gods, they come for me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, would you shut up and get across this bridge?
Just shut the fuck up. And he's just dragging him by the collar. Being like, the gods are gonna get me. They're gonna get me. No.
It's like trying to
No,
like
awesome.
be a lifeguard somebody to shore and they're fighting you because they
Yeah.
think they're dying.
Oh, you're like, man, you were you're hungry now, you're afraid, and you're exhausted, and you're like, these people, I gotta do
Oh
everything.
no, I'm angry.
Yeah,
Let
not
me be
afraid,
clear.
angry.
I'm not.
Oh,
angry.
afraid. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
Angry.
I'm sorry. I meant to say angry. My bad. But yeah.
I'm having a bad day.
Yeah, this is not the best. No, well, I appreciate you've been quite a sport today. So
I like being in trouble. Feels good, man.
So as y'all get across,
mhm.
I mean, I don't like. I just like hand Ermintrude, or like I fish out of Ermintrude's bag some of the prepared meat. I'm just like, I just hand it to you.
I like bite off, like tear off a chunk with like exceptional viciousness.
Okay. So you guys,
That'll
yeah.
take care of hungry and thirsty.
Nice. You make it across, and kind of inlaid inside of the other this. Okay, so remember how I described that there's sort of like a man-made kind of like stone archway going in on this other side. Inlaid on both sides of the like the arches, kind of going in are like frescoes, or like really old frescoes of the Lady of Fate being like, on one side it's like happy and like good, and the other side is like has like a judgmental, stern look to it.
What is that? Jeez.
Yeah. So like one of them is like, yeah, like I don't want to say like a thumbs up, but it essentially is sort of like the sign of like you're good, and the other one is like you have
Fate is on your side, and
Yeah.
then Fate is like casting judgment and beheading
Yeah.
you.
Exactly. Yeah, like one has like the sun, and the other one's like the moon on the other side. So, yeah, it looks like this passageway kind of goes into further chambers.
Question: how do we feel about are we able to camp in this location? B, if we are able, would we like to? I think we've got a total of 2 checks to ourselves now.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
to check.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Do we only have the one check, or do we have more than one?
I
I've
have
got-
1,
Okay.
so we've got 2 total.
We've got
Okay, yeah. So y'all can try to recover some of your conditions.
Yeah.
I think it's
can
worthwhile.
Trade, which will let me help.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm for it. Let's rest.
Okay.
I think what happens is that I sense he hands me meat, and like you're looking at the archway as if you want to go through it, and I just sit down and I start eating it.
Yeah.
And if you look at me, I just give you a look like I ain't going fucking nowhere. I'm
Are
hungry.
we camping right here on the edge of the cliff next to the freaky dude downstairs who's happily munching on everything?
Yeah, do you think you can rest here?
I think probably Ahab doesn't want to. He's probably like, we can't rest near that thing. It's an agent of the gods. They are hungry. They've been denied.
Well, we can explore further, but if we come across any more of this nonsense, fine, I'll smash it for you, I guess. That's the theme of the day, it seems to be.
Yes. Yes. Let's do it. And I strike out towards the empty passageway ahead.
Okay. So you go in this passageway, and you guys get to a section. So it once again, like, it has a very nice old stone, not necessarily mosaic, but it has a very like regal kind of touch to it. Until you kind of go down this passageway, and then you hit a barricade of old like wood that seems to be, and like fence posts, and some kind of like metal, like scrap metal almost, like just sheets of discarded metal that seems to have like just been forming this barricade in your way. That would prevent you from going forward unless you deal with it.
Cool. Well, did we remember to buy a shovel in town?
I didn't even think of that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I think this is where we stop and camp.
Yeah. You've gone inward a little bit.
Yeah. We're just a little bit away from the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's camp.
Yeah. I think Barboza, in order to like start trying to relieve his fear, he just like retreats further into his faith, and maybe like pulls out some like waterlogged scroll. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna like invent him carrying like a case with seawater in it with a scroll stored in it, but that would have to be a thing that I would need to put in my inventory. So he doesn't have that. Damn. I think he like pulls out his father's torque, and he just like runs his fingers around it. Well, that's him trying to recover his senses.
So for me, I have to recover angry before exhausted, according to
the recovery. It's true.
Yeah. So, what would Ermintrude even do? I think she's comforted by being underneath a mountain once again, and she kind of reminisces on home, and like her anger drains out of her as she like wallows in this nostalgia and how good it is to be a dwarf where dwarves are supposed to be once again, and not on a boat in the middle of the ocean with crazy humans. So that is an OB2 will test for me.
Well, are we getting ready to? Is this your camp action?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well then.
So we
have
should
to do
do
the
the camp rolls, right?
Okay. Yeah. Well then, how about before you do that, let's go to our next break because we're getting ready to do that,
Okay.
and that's be the next part for a good phase. Okay. So we'll be back in 5 minutes, everybody, and then we'll start the camp.